Yeah, I think BoneAppleTea is fine, so I'm just doing another episode on it. If you want to suggest subreddits for me to do in one of these videos, just say it in the comments. Fantastic complication of many of the most popular games for Game Boy. Check photos for the complete game list. Ships next day after payment. This is basically a complication a lot of them have, but somehow it managed to make the games even better and not worse. A lot of them have these weird complications with the gameplay, but it's fine. Let's take this with a grain of salt. These long range can change quickly, and even consistent model solutions can be very wrong. I'm curious how below average precipitation just off our coast can coincide with a forecast of above average precipitation just slightly inland. The weather person might be wrong this time. You might get assaulted with let's try to assault the, I don't know what joke to say with this. Let's use the grains to assault any of the incorrect information or whatever getting shown. We don't want people to be misled because of a bunch of mistakes. I didn't know what joke to make with that one. That one was really hard. Left hand turn on green light, switching lanes. So I'm a relatively new driver. I live in a small town, so driving isn't a problem for me there, but today I drove in a big town with lots of traffic and it confused me. So first, when I'm in the left turning lane and the arrow turns green, do I have the right of way or do I yield for oncoming traffic? How am I supposed to know if they're gonna stop or go? And I can't see their light if it is red above me. Also, all of the different lanes and knowing when I should switch lanes or if I'm in the right one is confusing, and it's always hard to switch to the correct lane because there's always a car to my right or left. So I need help on knowing how and when to switch lanes safely. I don't know if I should go right away when the light is green and I'm in the left lane, or if I have to yield to oncoming traffic. These kitten cabinets being worn down from use, only used for 3 years. Just so you know, these kitten cabinets I'm selling, if you don't want them to be worn down, maybe don't buy them, but if you don't care, that's fine. They're worn down from the kitten rubbing against them a lot, but I'm selling them because I think like everybody needs a cabinet for their kitten. I've noticed only like expensive houses seem to have a lot of those, so I'm selling them to anyone who wants them for a cheap price. Take that shower curtain off. You look like a black leopard con. A leopard con is like an ugly leopard. We don't want you to look like an ugly leopard. It's okay if you look like a leopard though. What's better on ribeye, mushrooms or caramel used onions? Caramel used onions are onions with caramel in them. They're gross, but sometimes they work well on a ribeye, so I'm asking if they work well on this ribeye compared to the other option I mentioned. It does actually look pretty delicious though. I believe these are goth cart gas caps. I think they're gas caps for goth themed carts. Usually they're built differently, so they need a different gas cap because of the style than all of the other ones. That's what I'm assuming they're for. I hope I didn't get it wrong, because maybe you'll use this for your goth cart and it won't actually work. Shout out to my granddaughter. Graduation's getting your license. You graduated from the class to get a driver's license and now you're getting your license. My biggest pet peeve is lies, even more so the omission of truth and skittering around bushes. No sir, always trust the quiet voice of your intuition. There comes a time when you have to stop crossing oceans for people who won't jump puddles for you. Yeah, that's my pet peeve. This is a piece of like what I tend to do. I should stop lying so much, but it's just a habit. Lawnmower for sale. This will extend your lawn. You'll be able to extend your lawn with this. This is a very useful machine. If you have the space to do so, you can buy this. It's for sale for a cheaper price than I bought it for, so it's a good deal. Polka dot couch. Yeah, this is a couch. It's basically you poke this with the weird stamp stick that has ink on it. So it looks more handmade. It really doesn't look that way. It looks so perfect and factory produced. Ticketmaster is now my swarm enemy. There's like so many advertisements for Ticketmaster and it's like swarming around me, so it's really annoying. I just wish that Ticketmaster would just stop with the swarms of advertisements. Because they're terrible. I don't want to get their stuff and they keep telling me to get their stuff. Not taking these moments for granted. These are some amazing moments. Don't want to think of them like the ugly granite stuff. This is like diamond level. I'm not referencing Minecraft. I didn't mean to think of that stuff. It might have been subconsciously Minecraft stuff. I'm thinking of this like diamond level memories, not ugly granite level memories. So I'm taking these memories for diamond, not granite. Dear UPS, please leave the package please as it's needed, or ring the bell several times no matter what time. I can also be reached on this place just in case the kids are upstairs in their rooms. Or you can also leave it with my landlord right next door. Thank you very much. This is a store. There's a store between the store you have to leave it at. If you want to leave it to my landlord or my house, so just leave it over there. Make sure you leave it there so that way we know where it is, so we can find it soon. Laughs historically while watching each kid fall in snow. It's a historic level laugh. I'm laughing so much, and it's like, this is my signature laugh, okay? And it's historical because it's so signature as well. And it is very funny. A lot of people like the laugh. Maybe some people won't, but who cares? As opposed to overage children. These children are too old to pose for these pictures. This stuff is meant for kids that are younger, and these people they're acting younger than they are if they try to pose for these pictures. If you need a good surefire way to get scary thoughts away before sleep, just watch a bunch of memes. That's the trick for me. It's gonna be far away, like I'm not gonna help you for a while, but it works very well anyway. So a good way to get scary thoughts away from your head before you go to sleep, just watch a bunch of memes. In a few months it will work, or a few years. People are just so impatient in driving like it's an optical course. That's the visual course that you usually see first. And they shouldn't drive that way. It's usually not the best way. It's just impatient if you don't want to figure out a better way to drive where you're supposed to. In the light of the new disc horse. The new disc horse, like this is the horse that has been on the news for being able to throw discs very far. Usually horses don't know how to do that, but this horse was trained a lot and they can throw discs very far. Right? That info seems to have fallen to the waist side. It's like waist level now. That info isn't thought about very much, but it's not as bad as the foot side because that's at the bottom. The stuff people think about the least. Large dry erase board with cabinet, $12. Yeah, this is a race board. You use it to plan your races and your strategies for racing. It's large, so you'll have a lot of space to plan it on. And it has some cabinets as well to put your markers and rulers and stuff on there. Looks great. That's my cupcakes tea. It's kind of similar to cupcakes I eat with tea. It's this very delicious snack, and it's basically my taste. I want to share my hot takes, but I'm afraid I'll get ostrich sized. It's not too much larger than a human, so I don't think it'll be that hard to adapt. I don't know how that will make you ostrich sized. How does that even work? Why is it 90 degrees at 8:30 p.m. at night? It's so greasy. I don't know why the weather's so greasy this late at night. Usually it melts away and then like their grease usually forms in dawn. It must be a very greasy season right now. I thought it was like a constipation camp. You know, like in Work to War. They misspelled World War. Please say you're joking. Constipation camp is where you get constipated. You get fed all this food to get constipated for punishment. It's this kind of punishment, and you have to stay there, and you have to basically do a bunch of things that get you constipated. So I guess they were thinking that was what they were doing like in World War. That was basically stuff they did then, I guess. It worked to punish people, so I guess they were doing something similar because it worked so well in the World War. He's one of the, I don't know how to pronounce that. He's always there for you when you're sad, like a tissue, just to like make you feel better and stuff. Is darling mid-sensory modern chair. So this is like middle level sensory. It's not overstimulating or understimulating, but this is like the modern stuff, so it works pretty well because the technology has advanced a lot compared to the old stuff. It's supposed to be for relaxing and massaging. They haven't made many of these until recently because the technology didn't get good enough to make it sense this well, I guess. It works pretty well now, so I'm selling one of these. Dude is miles away from understanding your point forward. It's worth, I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's worth going forward to try to understand this anyways, but this person won't do that because of course they just don't understand. Why don't they understand? What the frick? Still has that staying power. Easily my vote for. They're easily able to stain the haters, I guess. We're not going to do well, so I'm going to vote for them. This is a great person to compete. I don't know what they're talking about with like the voting for. Like I don't know what it is, so I don't know what jokes to make with this. About Bane towers are tier 5 flying war machines, seemingly colossal floating towers. They unleash tremendous barrages of bolts and large plasmatic of warp fire that do not not discriminate in how much damage they can deal. For all intensive purposes, they're essentially flying artillery platforms. That being said, they're a ridiculously powerful unit, and as such cost a huge amount in both initial cost and upkeep. They also lack in XP and barrier points and can be melted if a proper countermeasure is pointed at them. So these are the most intensive purposes, so you might need to know a lot about them. All of these, it might as well just be used for that, I guess. Whoa, that's memorizing. It memorizes a lot. This is one of the rocks. It can actually memorize when it got touched with the electric storage. It's basically used as batteries. People are experimenting with it, and it memorizes that stuff. So like, if you tap it hard enough, the electric impulse goes back out. And this is a very rare rock, but people are trying to make more of them in labs. It's mesmerizing. Oh, never mind. It just looks pretty. Okay. No, they meant that it helps them prepare for tests. Why not both? I guess it could be both. Just kidding.